What it do, baby? It's your boy Tyrik, man. Y'all are tuning in to another episode of Navigating Journalism Podcast. Got my man in the building. We got Dylan Bruton doing big things, man, within this amazing industry. He think his waves is the best. I don't know why, but I mean, that's what he say.
You know, it's getting to be about that season when, you got to bring out the surfboards, grab your paddles. We drowning over here,
If you say so. All right, man. So appreciate you so much for coming. We about to get into this thing. So tell everybody a little bit about what you do.
Okay, for sure. Well, first off, I do want to say thank you, Tyrik. You know what I'm saying? I really do appreciate you having me on your platform, and I really do respect, what I'm saying, seeing, I've only known you for a few months now, but just like being able to see like, okay, like everything you say, you're really about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's a lot of people who, say, and a lot of people who do. You know what I'm saying? It's a big separating factor. So just to see like the space that you got your name all over it. Salute to you, man. No, like, hey,
I appreciate
salute to you, man. You know what I'm saying? The Win-Win Productions, like that's clever. I like that. So,
Thank you.
So definitely just want to give you your flowers on that because
Appreciate
I definitely, as a, we're young in this space to get some footing like that. That's no small feat. So, hats off to you, my brother.
Thank you.
Of course. But yeah, so a little bit about myself. So currently, right now, I work a multitude of jobs. Let's put it like that for one, because I really do. But the job that I mainly do that incorporates the skill set of being a journalist, I work as a junior content manager for a company called Capital Analytics, and we cover 21 different markets within America, and we outsource with everything. So real estate, finance, education, healthcare, tourism, entertainment, you name it. Pretty much whatever you can think of, cover it. And we have a business publication that we put out every so month, and we have different articles and different interviews. My job in particular, I have to contact different CEOs, which most of the time I'm almost never getting a chance to directly talk to the CEOs when I'm first making contact. I got to go through.
It'd be like that.
Got to go through HR, got to go through the secretary, got to, oh, well, if you call it this hour, they'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of, hoops and hurdles to kind of navigate. But I've been able to still, I just completed my second interview today with a CEO from a bank in Tennessee. So it went well.
That's what's up.
But yeah, so I call and make that communication, and then from there, I have to come up with questions and whatnot. And granted, we have a question template, but I still have to add my own little flavor and sauce to it, so it's not like just bland. Like, okay, you're reading a manuscript. Like there's some bit of some bit of personality. There's some bit of originality to it.
Yeah.
And so I have to do that, and then and I would say that's the fun part. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really where it's like the magic takes place and goes on. And coming from a background of having did interviews since I was in high school, because I was on the school TV pretty much almost all through high school. I was primarily only allowed to do sports because I was a little too radical, I guess you could say. To put it mildly, you know what I'm saying? I was just a very prideful and loud black man, you know what I'm saying? And I went to a Catholic school, so it just wasn't, certain things just don't fly, you know what I'm saying? You got to know where you at. You got to read the room. Mm-hmm. We're in a space right now where it's a little different. You can say certain things. Mm-hmm. Back there, no. Now, it is funny now seeing them kind of like, especially since like post 2020, and I know you can also see them with a lot of corporations. They're singing a different tune than they were before.
Yeah, facts.
They gotta present a good face. But so I've been doing interviews though for a long time. And the way I look at interviews, is just like the way it is now. We're having a conversation. We're just you're getting to know somebody better, and you're also giving people out there an opportunity to hear other perspectives, and you're giving the person that you're interviewing a chance to tell their story and to share their perspectives to the world. So I feel like even though, granted, I'm doing interviews for a publication, so it's got to fit like a certain standard. There's a certain style to way things are being done. I still, because like they want me to add my own personality with it, they still want me to be creative with it at times too. It allows me to test my abilities as a writer, and then also someone, utilizing emotional intelligence of knowing, okay, when I'm speaking with this person, what question is going to work here? Because sometimes you write a bunch of questions and you end up only using like 3 of them because it's just a conversation. It just doesn't flow.
Just the way it flows.
Yeah, it doesn't flow cohesively. And I think one of the things that you learn in journalism is you have to find the why. The who, the what, the where. You could tell I've been in many classes. But the why is the most important W that they tell you that you got to find. Mm-hmm. And the why, obviously, it's different because I'm working for, I'm representing all that. But I still look at it like, okay, like perhaps someone who's reading this publication and is reading about this person, they might learn something that could be very valuable to them. Granted, like, it could be something that's nothing to do with the particular field that they're in. But so I know I just gave a lot, but
no, you good.
But to just to summarize it, so I've been doing that. I just started that, and then I also am a sports writer for Clutch Points. So actually, I'm working on an article right now that I should have had done before. But things happen.
Not meeting those deadlines. That's being a good journalist.
Right. So sometimes you got to pivot and adjust and pick a different story to write that doesn't have as time contingent of a thing. And so and then I freelance. I've offered my services before. That sounds wild to say out loud, but as a writer, strictly as a and there's context to why it's so funny me saying that, but we just gonna keep it at that. But as a writer, what I'm saying, I write, I guess, a writer for hire, whatever like that. Because I love writing and I've had a passion with that. So I just try to do a lot as much as I can, and then I podcast as well. So I'm gonna definitely have you on there. We're gonna talk shop and whatnot.
Okay.
And just really try to utilize everything because my degree was in mass media, radio, television, film. So I try to, in some variable, use everything.
And what school you go to?
So I went to the illustrious Clark Atlanta, but I first went to Hampton University, the home by the sea, the real HU. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking that all blue. You know what I'm saying? Like not because it just happened to be that way. But so I first went to Hampton, transferred. I was doing some community college classes so I could stay in the flow of being a college student, but I was working multiple jobs. And then I transferred to Clark in the spring of 2020. Life was going great, things was going well, and then COVID happens. It's kind of like, oh no, and online school had me questioning, like, do I really want this degree that badly? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you were in school at that time, right?
I was. My grades actually got better though. So I was.
I mean, my grades were my grades were really good too. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I feel like as a learner, you learn so much better when you're in the space and when you have the ability to go up and ask your teacher something, or you're able to work on a collaboration with somebody next to you and stuff like that. Group projects during that time were oh my gosh.
No, I ain't never been a fan of group projects.
Really?
No.
So you always been Mr. Solo Dolo?
I mean, it depends. I need to be working with the right people.
Looking at the background going, I don't know about that.
It got to be the right people who determine and people who actually gonna put in work.
I agree though. I definitely think that putting the right pieces on a team. It's just like in sports. You can't just throw big names out there and expect them to deliver you a championship. They have to fit and work synchronously. So I finished. I ended up graduating in 2022. Originally, I was supposed to graduate 2021, but because I transferred to from one HBCU to another, and
I don't know why they do that.
I love my HBCUs, but man, I don't know what it is with y'all with not accepting people's credits and doing all this like hokey dokey with people's stuff. But it's like, look, get it together, please.
Exactly.
But
no, that's facts because it's like money down the drain, especially if you like paying, if like you're not on scholarship and you're paying.
I had to take extra summer classes just so I could graduate like quote unquote on time. So it kept me in the swing and flow of being a student, but it was like I was getting annoyed. Like I'd hang out with my friends and be like, "Oh man, I gotta turn in early, y'all." They'd be like, "Why?" I'm like, "I got a paper to write." they'll be like, it's the summer. Yeah, but I got a paper to write. I got a project to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I graduated magna cum laude, so it was like,
So you had grades. Okay.
give or take. Now, granted, like I had, a little backstory because I know there's other things you got to ask. But when I first went to Hampton, I actually got a partial academic scholarship, but I lost it because one, I didn't know that they had an Ivy League GPA scale. So basically, let's say you get like a bunch of low Bs, they'll treat that the same as if you got a bunch of high Cs. So I'm in the school of mind and thought process of like, if I got an 83, that's better than a 78 or 79. But according at Hampton, no. But the reason why they do that is so the students that do get like straight A's all the way through, they can have like a ridiculous like 4.6, 4.7 GPA, which is like, that's unheard of, you know what I'm saying? But I get why they do it. It makes the school, they can brag about that like, oh, our students, 5.1 GPA, never had a B in their life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I calculated, like, had I went to another university, had I went to Clark, I would have made the requirement of what I was supposed to keep. Now, granted, freshman year, first time you away from your parents and whatnot, I was all the way in Virginia, which ain't much to do in Virginia, especially Hampton of all places. Like Virginia Beach, Norfolk, there's some things to do. Hampton,
the beach.
barely anything to do out there, man. And I had fun. You know what I'm saying? I've had more fun out in Atlanta because Atlanta, obviously, there's more things to do. But I had my fair share of fun, and I didn't know how to balance the fun with the school work life. And then also my learning style, I'm dyslexic. And I'd kind of known all my life that, okay, like, yes, I've been in honor roll, I've been in gate, so there's never been any issues with my actual intellect or my ability to be a student. But my learning process, I needed tailored slightly, just slightly. I don't need too much. And unfortunately, Hampton was unwilling to accommodate to that. So that was a big reason why my parents was like, okay, well, you already lost your academic scholarship, and then they're already raising tuition. That was their reason. That was their why. My why was, it was hard to, there's politics and everything, and I'm very aware of that. But it was hard. Like, I was expected to, at all the journalism majors were expected to have an internship, and I basically got passed over for some internships that, like, by all accounts, it seemed like it was mine. It seemed like I got it. It's like, you do a job interview.
It'd be like that.
And you do multiple. You do like 3 or 4, and then it's like, wow, like, we're really making a connection here. We're really, and just to be told no. And I got passed over for people who, like, not to sound like a hater or anything, like, to sound bitter, but, like, I know, like, in the particular realm of what it was that was asked of, they were not doing what I was doing. And they didn't have the passion and love for it the way I did. So
we're in the same boat.
It was frustrating. So it was kind of like, okay, I need to go somewhere where I'm actually going to be supported and given opportunities that are going to allow me to flourish. And I do feel like, though Atlanta, it also has a lot of politics. I mean, I'm sure you have to navigate a lot at the level that you're at, But I will say that there is a lot more people here who I've encountered that really were like, took me under their wing and really wanted to see me rise and succeed. And to put it out there, how I met Tyrik was in Atlanta Black Journalists. I'm a new member, you know what I'm saying, out here.
Shout out to ABJ.
Yeah, shout out to ABJ. We're gonna be in Chicago this summer. I can't wait.
It's gonna be lit.
I can't wait to buy my ticket, and we're gonna have a good time. But but I just immediately just being there one meeting, I felt like, wow, I can tell people here really like look out for one another. They really support you, and they really want to see you do well. And it's important to be in those kind of spaces. Crazy enough, so. Our friend, brother Marquette, actually was the one.
Okay.
So he was the one that was like, bro, you need to pop out and join, because I had gotten told about it by a woman who runs this sports journalism academy thing that I met at. There was a career event at the Ben Stadium, and she was like,
the Black Sports that.
It wasn't for the symposium. It wasn't for the symposium, but there was like this thing. It was in like November, early December. It was a career event, so you had all these different companies that was out there, and they were talking to different students and people like that. I know I've been looking down, like, do I need to look forward or like? Let me pretend like I have a degree in this, like I know what I'm doing. But yeah, so basically, it was a career event, and they had all these different companies. You had different college, universities, and whatnot. And I met a woman who runs a sports business academy kind of thing, and she was telling me like, you need to join AABJ. And she sent me the registration thing to do it, and then I couldn't, like, I was like, what's going on? Like, I signed up, I paid dues. I don't like paying for things just for it to not happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to sound like a penny pincher, you know what I'm saying? There's the irony of that,
coins
right?
is important.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, we young out here, man, you know what I'm saying? We living in a high time of inflation, you know, it's the 20s, just like back in the day, 20s.
Yeah.
What did the 20s lead to? The Great Depression, so... Connect the dots. A lot of people don't want to do that. But so when I finally, I met Marquette at a event for black sports professionals, which I know you finally got to interact with some of them too. But he was like, yeah, man, like you got to really like, you know, come to this. He was like, there's a meeting going to be happening soon. He was like, if you didn't get your verification that you got in, I'm going to still send you the information to go. So I reached back to her and I was like, hey, did I get in and whatnot? And she was like, it'll be an email from this email address and I'll verify you. So I got it. I was good. And then I asked Marquette, I'm like, yo, like, what's the address, timing, all that? And he sent me all that. And, you know, one thing led to another. And I was there.
That's what's up.
I met
Making that connection.
Yeah. And then I got to meet a lot of really dope people and a lot of people that were like, no, I really want to, like, you know, pick your brain and help you get to the level that I could see that you're capable of getting to. Yeah, and then also seeing that people that like I already knew, people that I went to school with, or people like that I had some form of a connection with that are part of it. It was like
that was already there. And they ain't tell you, they deprive you of that information. That's crazy.
You know, but
y'all terrible.
Some people just don't realize, like, okay, like when you get there, like, okay, you're here, but it takes a while sometimes. To establish, like, okay, oh, yeah, I'm here too. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely was a great experience, and it's been so far. And I've only been a member for 2 months, but I'm looking forward to being there longer, and I'm very much looking forward to this summer.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Chicago's gonna be.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Chicago's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome. You gonna enjoy it. The conference is gonna be like no other type of conference you've been to. It's gonna be amazing.
I believe you. I believe you. I really
5 days. Yeah, it's gonna be the stuff.
That PTO is going to be. let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, for sure. So let me ask you this: so what is the goal now? What are you trying to work towards?
So I would say like my immediate goal, is to either be a reporter, analyst, broadcaster,
on TV.
TV, preferably in sports. But I mean, I can do anything. Like that sounds very like. Yeah, you know, but like truth of the matter though, because I've had experience.
But that's what you want to do. So,
I've had experience in covering just regular news, politics, weather, even, which that's a whole thing of itself. But
I couldn't see you covering politics. You don't look like a
really.
You look like I said. You look like
I look
you
like a
sportscaster.
Sports. Yeah. No, you'd be surprised. But when that high school time period, like when I was trying to show that I could do both. I remember I had submitted a script because we had like a political segment show, and this was 2015, so this was like the height of what was going on. I think that this was like the riots were going on in Baltimore, and you know, I expressed and shared my thoughts profoundly as I could, but I still was being objective as a journalist, but I was just, you know, speaking to a perspective that needed to be heard, and I remember. Because we had to, like, physically print our scripts out. And I remember the teacher ripped my script right in my face. And he thought, like, that was going to, like, break me or something like that. And I was like, I mean, I still got the file on my computer, so, like, it don't mean nothing. Like, but it was, like, he did it in front of the class. It was, like, a kind of, like, a demonstration of power. And I'll put this out there. I was the only black male in the class, and he wasn't a black male. So you kind of put 2 and 2 together what that is. Yeah. And for me, me being mixed, because I'm not one of those people that just screams it like I'm black, I'm white, whatever. But like I'm mixed, you know, black and white. I've had a lot of interaction with you know, white people, obviously. So I'm able to pick up on a lot of the stuff that they do, and they tend to be a little bit more passive aggressive with a lot of stuff. It's very rarely you come across one who is going to be direct. It is going to be like, nah, I'm gonna get buck with you too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's very rare. So in that moment, you know, like there's two ways of my brain was going, but I was like, you know what? It's not worth, like, I have a future to care about, and that's always been my saving grace in life, is like, I have a future to care about. Yeah, there's things, you know, don't get me wrong, there's some times where it's like, oh, you about to see a whole other side of me.
Yeah, you wanna bring it out.
Ugly. But it's like, you know what? It's not worth it. You know, like, to stoop to your level would be denying myself of all the glory and grace that God has in store for me. And but he did it, you know, because I was very confident in myself and I believed in myself. And I remember I told him in one class, like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, they don't really, the students around here, they don't really care about these other packages that these kids got. They came here to see me. You know, I pulled a David Ruffin, like, look, they didn't come to see you, Otis. They came to see David Ruffin and the Temptations. And what I told them was, because I make references to sports with everything. Yeah. I said, think of it like this. I'm Kobe, and y'all the Lakers. Your job is to either make me look good, which I can do on my own, or get out my way while I look good. And he was like, after that conversation, because he was like, wow, like you're so arrogant, you're so full of yourself, and you're never going to get anywhere in life. And I don't forget when people tell me stuff like that. Because I just feel like, unfortunately, and I know you've probably dealt with this too, like when you're black and intelligent and confident, it's like the world and society wants to do everything they can to try to beat you down.
They do that.
You know?
They do that.
They don't want to see us have a high self-esteem and high belief in each other. And that's why it's very important to instill, you know, and I can tell from your foundation, you were instilled with a strong, sturdy foundation. You know, there are times to be humble, but there's other times where, all that humility, you don't need to be meek. You don't need to be like, no, be confident. You know what I'm saying? Stand tall.
Yeah. You gotta stand up for yourself, because like a lot of people in this industry, they'll try to down talk you. Know?
And I bet you being young.
Yeah. Like it was people trying, like when I was graduating, it was people telling me, oh, you're not good enough to be on national television. Next thing you know, a month later.
Exactly. Oh God, look at you now. Look at you now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've been dealing with that in a way. I've been doing that for a while, you know what I'm saying? I'm 25 now, so I was in high school a while ago, which is wild to say. I'm not old, but I'm not like young, so I'm in that weird like limbo phase. But to just go through that and just the experiences, because I've had other experiences, you know what I'm saying? But just to go through stuff like that, it reminds me that like anytime I feel like, you know, oh, maybe I should try this or whatever, I think about those moments, and I think about I owe it to myself to at least get to that level, you know, because I've already put in a lot of work. There's been blood, sweat, and tears with that, and there's still progress that's being made. So it's like I owe it to myself. So yeah, I would say in the short term, you know, I want to be on air, I want to be on TV, because I feel like I can do it well. I feel like, you know, again, I'm not following the prerequisites right, but looking in the camera. But I feel like it's something that comes very naturally to me, and I've always liked public speaking. Never had an issue. I mean, people used to tell me when I was a kid, "You'll make a great politician one day," and Obama.
You could be a mayor. You look like a mayor.
Really?
You could be a mayor if you had a suit. I ain't never said. Wait. No, you did have a suit.
I did have a suit when you met me.
Yeah, that one day.
When you met me, yeah. I mean, look, when we're in Chicago, you'll see I'll be suited and booted.
Okay.
You know,
right. My style gonna be better than yours.
And we gonna see. We're gonna see. Like, we gotta see. Your waves gotta be right. The shoe.
It's gonna be right. Like, I'm coming out with my own wave grease. You ain't even.
So you gonna have merch and you gonna have wave grease.
Exactly.
Okay, you about to be the Master P of the broadcast TV
exactly.
world.
I'm gonna tell you, NABJ, like, okay. When you go to NABJ, you got the career fair, you got the sessions and stuff. NABJ is really a fashion show, because everybody be walking around.
He's keeping it real, y'all.
I'm just being honest. Like, NABJ is a fashion show. I'm not playing. Like, everybody be stepping. Like, the girls be wearing their baddest heels, and men be wearing their baddest suits and their baddest dress shoes and belts and all that stuff.
So you got to come correct.
For sure.
Okay.
You can't come half slacking.
Nah, ain't no half stepping in this game. For sure. Well,
you gotta come. You gotta come right.
Yeah. You know, they say cleanliness is next to godliness. So, you know, I definitely try to. I mean, right now I'm a little this is just my casual out of work.
This how pod fit.
You know, that's it. We just chilling, just having a good time, politicking, communicating. But I'm definitely the competition is gonna be fierce. So I gotta make sure I'm bringing out the right fits, and I'm looking, looking like money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look and feel good.
You gotta look the part.
Yeah.
That's what they say. They say like you said, you want to be on TV and stuff. They say you got to dress the part, dress for the job that you want.
Exactly.
So when you go to that career fair, you got to have that suit on. Like you gotta be dressed for the part. You got to dress for the job you want.
Yeah. So I feel like, I've been making good connections. I just have to get some stuff on my end together. Like I don't have a reel.
You ain't got a reel.
No.
How you supposed to be on TV without
I know,
a reel?
isn't that crazy, right?
Man, okay.
But my school, the school, man, I got messed up both times by both schools. So actually, I plan to go to homecoming this year to go to Hamptons because I haven't gone to go homecoming for them since I was a student back in 2018, 2019. So it's been a while. And then I'm definitely going to Clark's homecoming. So if y'all outside, holla at your boy. We outside. I'm gonna definitely tell you to pop out outside.
I'm gonna be outside.
All right, we outside. Then that's a given. It's a go. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go there.
I've never been to a HBCU homecoming.
Really?
No, I never had an HBCU experience.
Because you was at GSU. Yeah. I mean, GSU. I ain't gonna lie. Everyone that I knew from GSU carried themselves like they was at like a mini HBCU.
Yeah. I mean, because it's a lot of black people.
And I was about to say, like, I noticed that. I was like. There's a lot of black people for a so-called PWI, but let's go. Okay. I see why Kendra gave y'all a shout out and whatnot. But I'm planning to go to the homecoming at Hampton with my flash drives, and I'm gonna be like, look, I know y'all have an archive of footage. I know y'all do. I need that. Let me get that now. Like we ain't no time wasted.
You did the TV station at Clark?
Bro, I did TV, sports reporting, man on the street, you know what I'm saying, weather, you name it.
Well, it should be on YouTube, right? Could you just go up there and get it?
No, that's the thing. So they have, it was through, because trust me, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, it's going to be on YouTube.
Where they put the content at?
So it was actually both schools I went to. I had the luck and misfortune, I say simultaneously, of the channels being syndicated through the city. So it was airing out to like the rest of the, populace going around, but the stuff wasn't necessarily being transmuted right back to YouTube. It's all available on like a hard drive and an archive. So I just need to go there and get my Hampton footage. My Clark footage is good as gone though. I found out last year, it's 2024 now. But,
you know what mistake you made, right? You didn't say, as soon as you do your stuff, you got to save it to your own
page. And I was literally just about to say that. So when I was at Clark, and right as soon as I got to Clark, right as I transferred there, they had me doing everything. Like, I was running ragged with how much stuff I was doing. But it was good because it was like, that's the good kind of busyness and productivity you want to be doing. Yeah. And I found out last year, 2023, that we delete everything as soon as we air it. I was like, wait,
that's bad on their part.
Wait, I'm like, wait a minute. Why was this never told to me? Yeah. Like, had I known, again, I carry flash drives around me. I've got a flash drive in my backpack right now. So had I known, I would have been like, hey, you know what time it is.
Yeah.
After everything I did, whether it was just like a quick little 5-minute news segment, whatever content I could get. Now, granted, I do have stuff. Now it's all about putting it together, and I have to get out of my own way and not be such a perfectionist and be like, oh my gosh, but like the lighting in this shot is not as good versus over here, or the audio, or my hair was looking crooked or whatever. Because like I had, like my hair was longer too. Like I had curlier hair. I had a full fro plenty of times when I was in college. So it was like, this is the shortest that my hair has been in years. So it like I'm nitpicking every single thing I do. And I know you get it. Like when you can be your own harshest critic, your own biggest judge, but when you're trying to like put together something that's like, okay, this is going, a corporation, a network is going to see this and be like, we got to have him. That's our guy. That's our guy right there. Like they say that, right? You got to make sure.
They know within the first 5 seconds if they want you or not.
Exactly. And it's like dating, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know instantly, or you see a girl, okay, she the one, or nah, she got a girl.
Yeah, you know what it's a category thing. You know, okay, like this is this is for fun, and this is like, this could be something serious. It could be something, substantial. And, I'm looking for that substantial with the right place. Because I also feel like the right environment, it speaks to what kind of experience you're going to get. And company culture means a lot of things, and a lot of people don't take that into consideration. Yeah. But you need to be somewhere where, you're not like, I gotta go into work. Like, granted, there's gonna be days where you want to be
happy when you wake up and go in, right?
Fired up.
You don't want to dread it.
Yeah. So it's like my job now. I really do like it a lot, and it's really testing me. It's really making me get back to the basic fundamentals. But it's like I'm ready also for that big leagues. You know what I'm saying? And then long term. Because, I'm not going to lie, like, with radio also being a part of my degree, I do want to get into radio. And I do, since I've done podcasting.
Why you ain't say nothing? I'm at iHeart. Bro, I could have helped you. Like, dude, like.
I said something. I said something to you, all right. We're going to talk about that. I've definitely said something to you.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, well, we could have another conversation. I'm down. I'm down. But, yeah, I definitely want to be more involved with radio. Because I feel like radio, it's a lost art. You know what I'm saying? But as someone who grew up listening to radio in the car with my parents, I would listen to radio at home. People thought I was weird for that. But I'm like, nah, like there's great information being shared, and it's still journalism. It's still you're still learning different news, and there's different things to apply and take away from it. But I feel like, because I did a thing called Teen Talk when I was in high school. That was one of my favorite things. I had a
segment called Teen Talk.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was in high school, the radio station I ended up interning at, because that was the only internship I had while I was at Hampton. But it's the only black-owned station in Vegas, 88.1 KCEP, and they had they still have it, but they have a thing where teens in the city can learn, audio engineering, being a board operator, radio host, producer, writer. So you basically get like the whole internship experience as a high schooler. So that was my
those opportunities.
It was dope. You know what I'm saying? And I did that. It was crazy because I did that. I got hit up by them because of a story. So like the radicalness, right? I didn't stand for the anthem and pledge when I was a senior in high school. And I was already on thin ice. Like that was
during the Kaepernick.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Same exact year. This is when I had an afro, and I remember my school was trying so hard to get me to cut it, and I was like thinking, was that like a rule, or they were just being petty? So they had like a written and / unwritten rule, and when I say written unwritten rule, I mean they only enforced it on the black students. So
there's been a lot of hair controversy happening with like school hair. And
I saw something like a kid with the locks. And it's like people don't realize is like there's historical significance behind that. Like hair, during the Caribbean, I'm Caribbean, but in the Caribbean, like people were communicating routes and different like codes through the braiding of their hair and the locks. A lot of people don't connect it to that. They're just like, oh, it's just, Bob Marley, Rasta, whatever. Like, it's like, no, it's a whole history that goes to it. But a lot of people have been very conditioned by what the public school system has deliberately, tried to, I'm not getting on my soapbox like that, but has deliberately and intentionally kept away and also watered down in order to keep people very much complicit. And but at the time I had an afro, I was 70s Black Power, Black Panther, the whole nine. And every time the dean would be like, you need to cut that hair, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm verbatim. I'd be like, nah. And I look at them right in the eye. And that's what they would hate me because I was so nonchalant. Like, I had a temper, but I also had like the nonchalant, like I was like, kind of like when Cameron was on Bill O'Reilly, like, you mad, you mad. And I guess that was like the inner New Yorker in me of like, you mad because I'm styling on you, like that. That was kind of me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And but I remember one time he was like, my wife cuts my hair. Maybe she could get you to cut. Maybe she could cut yours. I was like, oh, I could tell your wife cuts your hair. I could tell. I could tell. I could tell. And then I was like, if you or your wife come near me with the clipper, we'll be having a whole different conversation. Hope you realize that, right? And this dude was a retired veteran and all that, and I come from veterans, so it was never him about being him being a veteran, nothing like that. But it was like, this is a dude who fought fighter jet planes, but I just didn't care. I was like, I don't care who you are. Like I'm on my Tupac kind of, I'm buck wild, but I'm passionate. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, you can see that the passion is there. I've calm down and chill down a lot more because it's like I've gotten older, being able to see things a lot differently. But they were trying to get me to cut my hair, and I look at it too, like from a biblical aspect, like Samson. His power was tied to his hair, and when he told Delilah, he told what his weakness was, and he told her that his power lied in his hair, and she cut it. He was never the same. So at the time, I was on that like no, like this is my hair is connected to me and my ancestors, and I'm empowered. You know what I'm saying? I was on that heavy, and so I didn't stand for the anthem. I didn't stand for the pledge. I stood and clapped for everything else because it was at a Veterans Day assembly, and this was right after Trump got elected, like literally the day after. So I was at I'm at a white Catholic school. 2016. I
was at a Christian school too. It was. Yeah.
It was a time, and we weren't allowed to fight. That was the thing. We weren't allowed to fight. If you fought, you automatically would be expelled.
Yeah,
I was already on disciplinary probation and disciplinary contract because what I'm saying. I was
a trouble child. I can tell, like you was a trouble child.
See, here's the thing. And it's funny because I actually just talked to my favorite high school teacher. Crazy enough, white guy. Yeah. Dope, and I'm not with the whole like you're invited to the cookout, but like I would if I was throwing a cookout, him and his family could definitely pull up. It's all love. But I was a great student, and I was again like honor roll, gay, AP classes, the whole nine. But I like to talk, I like to communicate, and I also was the type that I didn't back down if I got challenged. And I would correct teachers, and I wouldn't do it in a rude way. But if you were going to try to use your position of authority, because I'm a firm believer that you're not supposed to abuse your authority. I've always respected righteous authority. Like the coaches that would be like hard on you, but they would also build you up. Like that to me is like, yeah, you can tell me I'm doing really bad, but you're also telling me like, good job, and I see the effort you're putting in, do this a little different. Yeah. I have no issue with that. So I'm a firm believer that constructive criticism, it's in the name itself. It's constructing you. It's building. But when you're just punching down on somebody because you have the authority to, you being a so-called adult, and I'm a youth, I'm a kid, whatever, I'm on my Adrian Broner. Anybody can get it, Like, it don't matter who you are. But that was more so back then. I was it was a lot going on, and just seeing all the stuff that was going on at that time period too. It was hard not to be angry. It was hard not to feel like, this is what can I do? How can I make a difference? So that was a big influence to me going to HBCU, that whole experience, because I got suspended. I didn't get expelled.
See, that's why I knew you was a problem. But go ahead, keep going.
like I was already on thin ice with them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that was just the straw. That was the very final list of straws that broke the camel's back. But like they took me having a passion for what I was trying to do, because I tried to start a Black student union, and they made me jump through all these hoops and hurdles and whatnot. And they finally told the teacher, who was one of the only Black male teachers there. They told him, well, like, you've gone through this, you've gone through that, you did everything that we've asked you to do, but you can't have the Black student union. And he was like, why not? He's like, well, because you can't have Dylan a part of it. He's like, but Dylan's been the one who's been boots to the ground and getting people signed up like and writing. He was like, he's the catalyst of all this. Like, yeah, we know. But we fear Dylan is a future domestic terrorist that's going to lead or incite an insurrection. Yeah. Oh, wow. So half of me was really heartbroken because I really put in a lot of time into this. I hadn't had I went to that high school for the sports, but I had multiple injuries. So I didn't get to, I'm not one of those, I would have went pro, but I think I could have gotten some college paid for had I been at my fullest of athletic health. Yeah, and
it'd be like them injuries will do it to you.
And it's always the mental. That's what people fail to realize. It's like, as much as it's the physical, the mental of like you not having the same trust in your body again, and you feeling like second guessing yourself. And sports is a very natural, instinctive thing. So I didn't get to leave my impact and legacy here how I wanted to. Yeah. So I have to, I have to also still be myself. And part of who I was a very passionate guy who was also trying to inform and educate others around me, especially my fellow black students. And I was trying to tell them, like, yo, like, they looking at us like property. They looking at us like, product. Where they're using our images to gain sponsorships. They're using our images to gain TV, time and whatnot. And we don't see any compensation from it. And then also we're being treated like second-class citizens. But everything is fine and dandy when we win and you state championships. Yeah. You're treating us like human beings then. But any other time, we're literally treated like animals or being fetishized, whatever, a whole bunch of mess. So I wanted to create something I wanted to create a space, and I wanted to create an organization that, one, was black owned, and one was something that would be able to create a better environment for black students, especially if you weren't a star athlete. I wasn't a star athlete, so I didn't get the LeBron treatment. I wanted the LeBron treatment. I didn't get the LeBron treatment. You know what I'm saying? I was treated like Joe Schmo in the corner, like, man, who this dude? So, and that goes with all things, dating, whatever, like, but that's just being real. And so when I had that happen and I got told that, I was heartbroken. I really was, because I really put so much into it. I had contacted a bunch of like different black intellectuals I knew. I already was doing grassroots activism work in the city. And Vegas isn't really known for having that kind of atmosphere and stuff like that. But I was tapped in with everybody that you were supposed to be if you was on that type of time.
I couldn't live in Vegas, yo.
It's a place to visit. And I got love for Vegas. I got love for Vegas. I want to say that, like, preface it. I got love for Vegas, mad love for Vegas, but it's a place to visit more than to live. But it's changing. So once the sports teams, once they're all fully there, it's gonna be a whole different place than even what I knew about it. But then on the other hand, I won't lie. When I got told that, I was like, yeah, they afraid of me. I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the HNIC. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better watch out. I don't know what you heard about me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was feeling like I was like the 50 Cent of the conscious community over at that school. It was a small amount. It was mainly me holding it down. So it was like tough because there was already a target on my back. So when I did that, it was just like, okay, we can go full throttle on him now. But because they realized if we expel him, he can sue for his First Amendment right. So I was kind of like low-key, like, I might be able to get a little college paid for, you know what I'm saying, tuition, books, the whole nine, But they ended up not expelling me, but they gave me like a super, super long list of stipulations that I had to agree to. And basically, if I could summarize it all, it was to kind of castigate me on a psychological level and make an example of me. And I'm not sitting here making this example, whatever, but it's like, back in the day when a slave was being rebellious and they would like mutilate his genitals or something like that. Or they would just find some way to demasculate him in front of everybody, to take away his power, especially as a man, as a black man, to say, this is what happens when you step out of line. When you step out of what is expected of you, and what you are asked of, you will be just like him. And I was like, I'm not going to let them do that to me. My soul, my dignity, my principles, my morals, all that means to me more than being at this school. All that means more to me than being around my friends. And it's like, it's like we got phones. We can still, it's not like I'm leaving. I ain't never going to see y'all again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we going to adjust. But that was a really stressful time of my life, but it really incentivized to me like, no, I need to be at an HBCU. I need to be around my people. And granted, going to an HBCU was my first time encountering classism. I had never dealt with that in my life. So that was a cultural shock, and it honestly hurt my feelings even more. Like, wait, you don't rock with me and you're looking down on me because I'm not, I don't come from a Jack and Jill, and my parents aren't fraternity, sorority, and I don't, I don't own VVS or whatever like that. Yeah. Which I'm like, why are black people flexing these European brands that don't respect us or like us? But it's just, unfortunately, there's a lot of psychological things we still unpacking. But so ultimately though, my experience has made me realize I want to be in a position where I can positively influence our youth. I want to be able to have a platform where I can, educate and entertain, and also provide opportunities for other young black people. And I mean everybody, if you're gonna work hard, but especially because we're not represented in this industry enough. Even though
we're really not, yo. And it's a lot of us leaving just because we so burnt out and stressed out. And it's like our previous NABJ president, she did a speech and she was like, stay in the business.
Yeah.
Because we are leaving.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of us are not on TV like we should and stuff.
No,
and
like
it's crazy.
When you look at TV a lot of times, you look at like different reporter positions. They're usually someone who's like a former celebrity, former athlete.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Especially like, and that's what be making me mad. A lot of these like, okay, let me dial it back a little bit. It is some people that's on TV right now. They don't really like. They don't have a talent. They just got the followers and the audience.
That's it. But you know what? It's less about what you know.
Yeah.
And who you know.
Yeah.
That's
just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. And you know, that's the world and reality. So it's like I've always looked at, you know, when I've been told no in life, no means no. Don't I'm like, let me put that out there. That's my sick humor. But like you have to find avenues of success. You have to create it. You know what I'm saying? I think about in like Field of Dreams. He's like, if you build it, they'll come. You know what I'm saying? And you have to
create your own opportunities.
Exactly. So like what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, is a perfect prime example. You know,
because I got told no 1,000 times.
I bet.
Like,
I bet. So it just gave you the fuel.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I figured like I was glad though, like even in a weird way that I was glad that I even faced adversity at both HBCUs I went to, because it was like, okay, like it's not like I can fully, you know, kick back and relax and like, oh, well, I'm with my people, I'm good. Like, no, every brother and every sister ain't your brother and your sister. So you have to still be cognizant of the fact that politics is politics. Yeah. You're impacted by that regardless, you know what I'm saying? Class impacts all people. And you have to just know what you're up against and use the emotional intelligence to best create the most ample amount of success. So coming to an HBCU though was nice because it's like, okay, I don't feel like every single class I have to fight for the whole black race. Yeah. Because that's how it felt like when I was in high school. It felt like it was World War III, and I was you know, because I also make music, I also, you know, do, you know, I rap, and that's basic. But like I really do rap. I'm really nice with it. I'm really nice with it.
You can't spit no rhyme.
Look, man. You know, all I need is a microphone and a stage and get it popping. But like I come from like, you know, again, like the New Yorker in me, you know, the battle rap, like that inner DMX, that 50 Cent, that Biggie, that Jay, that Nas. So when I would be in class, I'd be debating on an intellectual level, but you know what I'm saying, I speak with my hands, and I also, because I'm a competitive person, if I'm winning in this debate, oh, you gonna know it too. Like it's not like ain't no such thing as humility in this. Like if I'm smoking you, I want it to be known. I'm like prime time doing the Falcon dance. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so I so I definitely you know I had some people who didn't like me, but I was always in the mindset of like, you know where to find me. I ain't hard to find. You know what I'm saying? If you really got an issue, you really want to make it a problem, well, it ain't that hard to find people in this modern day. It really isn't. And I'm not encouraging or inciting anything, guys. I'm just saying it, speaking metaphorically.
I feel like that's what you're doing, but I'm just playing.
So but that was my mindset back then, was like, look, I'm not backing down from anybody. And
you shouldn't. And that's like within this industry, you should not back down.
No.
It's you're gonna have to stand up.
You have to stand
some
up for
people,
yourself.
especially like these higher ups, and like I would say it's gonna be a lot of these people I'll give an example of a story I heard. The story that I heard. Yeah, I did hear it. It was like this. It was this black girl who was going to this station, and she wanted to be on TV, but the manager was like, "Well, you be good at producing," because they didn't want to put her on TV, right? And so
I have dealt with that too.
Yeah, and when I tell you, I cannot stand stories like that. It's like, why bring her to the station if you not going, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to say, oh yeah, we got reporter position, and then you're gonna be like, well,
Upon
give me a good producer. Like what? Like no.
and that's one
Like,
thing you
I'm
have
leaving.
to be. You can't let people try to dictate your own dream. You know,
Exactly.
and you have people. It's an old Kanye song, but it's where he got the line that he ended up using in Last Call of College Dropout. Where he said, "Now I could let these dream killers kill my self-esteem, or I could use the arrogance to power me and use it as steam." I know I'm messing up a little bit slightly, but
probably are.
but it's been a while since I listened to that song. But it just you saying that reminded me of exactly like, and in my mind is like 80% hip hop lyrics. So it is what it is. But there are a lot of dream killers out there. Especially in an industry like this.
Haters, yeah. Matter of fact, I was listening to Steve Harvey the other day, right? And he made
I can't do his voice, you know, like
yeah. But Steve had made this like real. The way he said it, he was like, "Yo, haters," right? He was like, "Nobody hates from the top up. Everybody who hates from the bottom up."
That's real.
So anybody who hate on you is gonna be like somebody who's not doing as good as you are. You'll never see somebody hating on you from like way up there, like coming down.
I'm telling you.
So it's just the way, haters gonna do it. And
Yeah.
the way they do it. I always leave people with this quote. My quote, because I came up with a quote as soon as I graduated, because I dealt with this.
Okay, he came up with the quote.
Oh yeah,
He said this is trademarked Tyrik Wynn.
I did. So
Anybody use it, you gotta
Exactly.
break them up a little.
Yeah. I'm gonna need my credit for my quote.
Okay.
So my quote is: when somebody tells you can't do something, use that as motivation to prove them wrong. That's the quote. Yeah.
Hey,
And
straight to the point.
Yeah.
Straight to the point. And I agree. That's been me. So I get told like, oh, you got like such a chip on your shoulder. It can be too hard for people to breathe. But I'm like, nah, I've had a lot of, again, like you're saying, naysayers. I had a lot of doubters. I had a lot of people tell me no. And I mean, I even think about when I was in middle school, the assistant principal, and I'll never forget this, but he told me I was going to be dead or in jail by the time I was 18. And it's stuff like that, like, I don't forget. Now, granted, was I acting up in middle school? Yeah. But was I also one of the best students there? Yeah. So it's like, you should instead see that, look, the fact that I'm able to juggle both responsibilities, I'm able to entertain and educate, that should stand for something. But in truth of the matter, to say that to I was either 13 or 14-year-old, but say it to a 13 or 14-year-old young black boy, turning into a black man, you knew what you were doing. He was a older white man. And, that's not to say like every older white man I've encountered was like, because my first father figure was an older white man, my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? And he always lifted me up. And he always taught me that people are going to, a lot of times, when they see something lacking in themselves and they recognize it in you, it causes them to feel an emptiness and an animosity. And a person who is secure and at peace with themselves, they're going to recognize potential in someone and say, how do I help build this person up? How do I help them get to the next level? Not, how do I push them down? Because they might end up being better than me. But to be told that, it was, again, I was able to hear a lot of things, but I was like, wow, that's pretty harsh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 13, 14, and you telling me this, like, I'm not in honor roll society. I'm not engaged. Like, I'm not taking AP and honors classes, but this is how you feel. I appreciate you for being honest, so I'll never forget. And I don't know if he's still alive, but one of these days I'm gonna show up to my middle school with my degree, magna cum laude, and I'm gonna say, hey, you remember me? It's been a long time, but you said I was gonna be dead or in jail by the time I was 18, and I appreciate you for giving me the motivation because, as you can see,
motivation.
I'm still standing here. Yeah. But you don't want to be solely fueled by negativity too, because one thing is that, and I had to mentally, and it's something I have to constantly remind myself, because again, I have that gruff, I have that a little bit to myself. Mm-hmm. But the thing I have to remind myself of is, no, you've also been supported and you've had people pour love into you and pour wisdom and give you so much inspiration, and people really stuck their neck out and wanted to see you win. So it's like, in a way, you really have to ignore the dream killers and the doubters and the haters. Recognize, like, you can use it as fuel, but that shouldn't be your only source of fuel. Because once you feel like you run out of haters or whatever, and you're trying to, in a way, do like the Michael Jordan thing of like, okay, I got to have a rival here, somewhere. You're going to drive yourself crazier trying to find, in a way, and be paranoid, thinking like, okay, does this person have an issue with me? Are they trying to stab me in the back? Versus pay attention to all the people who have been supporting you and want to see you win and want to see you win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Win, right. And want to see you do well. So I think it's important to be able to, your mindset is number one, the most important thing. And I feel like my mindset right now is like, look, I had a really rough year last year, just being totally transparent and honest. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I look at God would never send no adversity or obstacles that he knows I can't face. And it was some really hard nights, man. It was you'll come to find out some of them, you know what I'm saying? Some really difficult nights I went through, but this year has been really great for me, and it's been a pleasure because I'm able to make the use of my time better, and better opportunities are coming my way, and I'm meeting better people like you know what I'm saying, who you're doing the things that I'm also trying to do. So we're able to, it's like we're able to hold each other accountable, but also be able to be proud of each other when we see each other do well and succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always a little friendly competition. Just like you saying you're going to have the better waves or you're going to look flyer than me. Like, no, I'm
just
what did Jordan say? I took that personal.
Bro, I'm speaking facts.
We going, look, I'm telling you, like, we're not going band for band. We going fan for fan with this.
Me, you, and Marquette going to have
it's going to be, I'm telling you.
NABJ, it's going to be crazy.
So, but it's like, it's dope to be in a space like that, though. To be with, to be with two other brothers who are also trying to make a name for themselves and knock down doors that historically have been very much difficult to reach and been barred against us. But yet again, against all odds, we're all here, despite the statistics, despite, you know what I'm saying, I'm sure we all know people that didn't make it, whether dead or in jail, like, truth of the matter. And yet we still here. So it's just a proof to remind ourselves, like, no, we are blessed. And the people that have been around us that have been getting us this point, they deserve to have their flowers. And those are the people we need to spend our time focusing and fixating on. Not the people who hating and doubting and all that. Because it's like, there's always going to be people doubting and hating on you.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. But I want to, one last thing before we go. I got to ask you this. So when you go to NABJ, right, what's your game plan? Because you said you're looking for a job. I know what your game plan should be. I want to see if you know what your game plan should be.
That's a good question. I'm going to network as much as possible. But
what you going to do before that?
Well, I'm going to get my reel done.
And how you going to do that?
Sit on that computer and get it done.
So what if you go back and they don't have the clips? What are you going to do? There is something you can do. I just want to know if you know what
I can record and do stand-ups on my own and whatnot. So Clark has a motto, and it was ingrained into me, like, literally, like, felt like it was burned into my forehead. Find a way or make one. And I truly take that with me everywhere I go. Find a way or make one. And I plan to really maximize that opportunity. There's some people who I've been in contact with, people who are at the levels that I want to reach, that have been mentoring me and giving me guidance. And that's all praises to God for allowing and creating that opportunity. And two, it's going to be an opportunity for me to further prove myself. And I'm at the end of the day, like, one of the reasons why, like, I'm stubbornly always going to keep going and keep pushing myself through, even on days where I'm like, I don't feel like it, but it's like, nah, I owe it to myself. But I'm my own biggest fan and biggest hater. Like, no one can out-hate me. Just like no one can, like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you say to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't hold any weight to how I feel about myself. Now, every now and then somebody might say something that make you go, let me step back and think about that. But you don't want to dwell in that too long, because a lot of times people are just projecting where they're lacking. And they're trying to project their misery onto you in hopes that your momentum and your progress is going to be stopped. And if people aren't going to give you constructive critique or love, then, in one ear, out the other. Yeah. That's really how you got to look at it. And it's not to say don't acknowledge it, but don't let it occupy any space in your head. Don't let it don't let it, become something that you fixate on and think about. So I'm just gonna go there, be on my best behavior for one.
Can we do that, please?
Excuse me, sir. Don't throw stones out of a glass house. All love though. No. But yeah, be on my, just be, a consummate professional, because that's how I was raised to be, and make great relationships, because I look at that as also
relationships is everything.
Yeah, relationships is everything. Who and being able to be around the right people, it inspires you. Like being around people like you and Marquette, it inspires me to go harder. So like I just want to continue to build my network, build the amount of people I'm with, and then also, most importantly, like I'm looking to come back to opportunities and experiences like this, because it's like this is the kind of spaces that we don't get to, like you're saying, we're underrepresented. Yeah. So we have to, it's like we should treat it like homecoming, really. This is like a homecoming.
It is a homecoming. It's a family reunion.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you get, cousin and them rolling into town.
Everybody is cousin.
Aunt and uncle, you like cousin. You like Pac in Poetic Justice. Like I ain't seen you in a minute. We never met. Yeah, I know, but like, get over here, man. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta that's what I'm looking forward to, because it's like the Black Sports Business Symposium, which I can't believe that you was there and I didn't get to meet you. That's crazy, but. We met in God's time, and that's how I look at it.
And that's how it is. Everything is all in His timing, man.
His timing.
That's just the way it worked out. And funny thing, we about to close it out, but funny thing, right? I need to applaud you, because we were talking about Marquette. We done mentioned his name a couple of times. Marquette was like, he wasn't coming because it was a far drive for him. Marquette, this man made the drive, and you need to do the same.
What's up, Hollywood?
Yeah, Hollywood. Come on.
Yeah, right. We calling you by your government, exactly. But Hollywood, Mr. Showtime. Nah, but it's all shout out to our brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's
good, folks.
That's something. So it's like building that network, building that. Building your tribe. That was mainly emphasized to me, was that in life, you're not always going to find groups where you fit in, but you have to build your tribe. You have to build that web. You have to build that village of people that pour into you, want to see you do well, hold you accountable, because that's most important. You need people who are going to they're not going to enable you. They're not going to coddle you. They're not going to let you, when you're messing up, they're not going to just let you slide by. And people that pour into you want to see you do. They want to see you do well. They want to see you win. Yeah. So
what's up? Win.
I want to see this brother win. I know he wants to see me win, and I want to see everybody out there that's watching this. I want to see y'all win too.
Yeah, facts, man. So hey, listen, get out there, do your thing, man, and continue just striving on the path of success. Congratulations to everything you got going on.
Thank you.
We're gonna see big things out of you, especially when it comes to this conference time. You never know what might come out of the conference. Some people done got their dream jobs out of NABJ, and I know it's a lot of y'all who gonna be at NABJ. So hey, if y'all see us at NABJ, feel free to say hello.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be a stranger.
Exactly.
Don't bite unless you ask. No. Just kidding. We keeping it PG. But yeah, no, like that's 100 grand. Like what my man Tyrik said. We coming to Chicago, looking to be out there in the Windy City and spread love and to build. That's what it's all about.
We're building connections, man. That's what it's all about, guys. All right, that wraps it up for this episode of NJP Navigating Journalism Podcast. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and then also make sure you share it with somebody. It's a community of journalists. Make sure you don't deprive everybody of this amazing information. So go ahead, share it with a couple of your journalism friends, your colleagues, all that good stuff. And if you're a journalist, you want to be a guest on the show, feel free to drop a comment, shoot me a DM. Tyrik Wynn, iHeartRadio.
He'll get back to you.
Yeah, I get back to you. I try to answer all my DMs, so I try to do a good job of that.
All your DMs, huh? Okay, this man, look at that slight, that slight flex. Like Tyrik is great about that. Like he's just so calm and cool with it. I'm a little bit more out, but I got the calm and cool with it. It's slash and dash. You know what I'm saying? Thunder and lightning. But
funny, man. This gonna be crazy. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all so much for watching. Catch y'all next time. Peace.
Appreciate it. Much love.